sounds funny, but I just can't stand the pain. Girl, I'm leaving you tomorrow.
Hey folks, welcome back to Star Wars Delusions of Granular. I'm your host Ron, and well, JP's off again, but I'm here, and Steve will be back later on this week. So if you enjoyed last week's episode where the three of us got together and just talked a lot about Darth Vader down, well, we'll have episodes like that again in the future. But for now, we're going to kind of go solo for a while. Got some solo episodes coming up. So, who are we? Well, we are Delusions of Granular. We're a podcast where we get granular with a Star Wars topic every week. I try to pick a topic and get granular about it. Steve, later on in the week, tries to pick some book from the defunct EU or possibly from the new canon and review it. So, there you have it. That's Delusions of Granular. You can find all of our work at delusionsofgranular.com. Feel free to stream, download any of our old episodes. You can find them all on there, as well as links to Facebook.com. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/SWDOG, or on Twitter at SWDOG77. Alright, that's all for now. Wanted to talk tonight about that episode 8 teaser we saw a few weeks ago. Rian Johnson and gang have started filming episode 8. Or have they? I have questions, folks. I have questions about this trailer, this teaser. Well, it's not a trailer at all. It's a teaser, right? It's, well, it's, by all definition, it's a tease. It's a tease. It's a big-time tease. Starts off right where we left off in The Force Awakens. We see the island that Luke is on coming in. We're kind of zooming into the island from the sea, and immediately we see a close-up of Luke Skywalker's face. And this is not the same angle that we saw Luke in the end of The Force Awakens. This is a different angle. We see a different shot of Rey handing the lightsaber over to Luke. Luke's lightsaber, or Luke's dad's lightsaber, whoever you want to give credit for the ownership of the lightsaber. But yeah. And then it's immediately cut. Rian Johnson, boom, done. Out. That's all we get, folks. But, okay, so some questions about this. Is this real? Is this actually Rian Johnson? Did he start filming? Yeah, there were some questions about this that, maybe this is leftover footage, an outtake from maybe JJ's filming. A lot of people were going around saying that. I thought that myself. And then Pablo Hidalgo on Twitter was asked this, and he says no. If you see Rian Johnson behind the camera, this means this is new footage. So that leads to bigger questions. Is Episode 8, that we don't have a title for yet, is Episode 8, is it going to pick up mere moments after The Force Awakens? That's unheard of for a Star Wars movie. They don't usually pick up that soon. There's usually months, years, sometimes decades in between movies. And, in the Star Wars universe, not so much anymore for us viewing the movies. We're going to get a movie every year. Yeah, so if that's the case, what's the crawl gonna say, right? Like, is it gonna just leave off? A lot of people are saying yes, that this is going to be a new thing for the Star Wars universe, to start a movie mere moments after the last one left off. Now, I scratched my head at this. I wanted to spin this in a different direction and see what you folks thought about this. So, what if, here's a theory to run past you. What if this is the end of episode 8? Not the beginning. There's nothing in this footage saying that this has to be where the next movie picks up. They're not, they don't typically film movies in chronological order. This could quite possibly happen in the middle of the movie. It could happen at the end of the movie, like I said. But a lot of people are thinking, well, no, because this is where we left off with The Force Awakens, that this has to be where the next movie picks up, right? Well, what about this? What if episode 8, they pull a fast one on us? They give us a movie that takes place at the same time as The Force Awakens. A different point of view, maybe, if you will. What if episode 8 was, we saw Luke's story. What if we got a whole movie of just Luke and what his story is about, leading up to the events that end The Force Awakens? What if we get to see how Luke ends up on this island? What if we get to see Luke's encounters with whoever before he gets to this island? I'm not saying going all the way back into the past, like we saw flashbacks of the Knights of Ren and Luke and R2 and the fire and the people dying. I'm not saying that, but what if it's just the same time frame? What if all of this leads up to the exact same scene that we got at the end of The Force Awakens, where Rey is once again handing that lightsaber over to Luke Skywalker? And, well, what would that mean? What would that mean? That would mean we wouldn't get any answers. They could tease us, delay our satisfaction of knowing who is Rey Skywalker. Who is Rey? Is she a Skywalker? Is she a Solo? Is she some random? Is she a Kenobi? They could put it off for another year or two. Would they do that to us? Would they change Star Wars that much to be like Episode 8? Episode 8 is not a sequel to Episode 7. It is just the same exact time frame, just a different part of the galaxy, following a different character. I mean, could Han Solo show up? We don't know. Everybody's looking for Luke. Did Han know where Luke was? I mean, that's making stuff up. Who knows? I mean, that would mean Han was lying on screen. I don't know if that's true. This could all be complete bullshit coming through my stupid head. But let's just say that maybe what we're seeing isn't truly what we're going to get. That's all. I don't have any insider information. I'm just thinking, what if? What if this is not the first scene in the movie? What if it just, I don't know. What if Rian Johnson is just playing with us? He seems like he may be a bit more of a playful director. JJ, by all means, was a good sport about giving us a little teases, very little teases during the making of The Force Awakens. What if Rian Johnson's a little bit of a jokester? I have reason to believe that he may be. I think he's a little bit more tied into the Star Wars universe. For folks that may not be aware of this, there is another podcast out there by the name of You Must Remember This. It's a pretty decent podcast. It's by a woman by the name of Karina Longworth, and she is known as a kind of a film journalist out in Hollywood there. I believe she is responsible for starting the film website, film news website, Cinematical. She is also quite the scholar of film history. This I don't mean by for this to be by any means a plug for her show, but she goes into the olden days of Hollywood, kind of brings back histories, feuds, what have you, that happened in Hollywood in days gone by. Interesting show. She did a long series on Charles Manson and his connection to the Hollywood scene and the music scene. Pretty gruesome, but it was a great kind of riveting series that she did on the show. She also has a bunch of episodes called Star Wars, and then some Hollywood names after that. Not to be confused with the movie Star Wars. These are more about feuds in Hollywood, but it got me to scratch my head a little bit. Is she a Star Wars fan? Well, it turns out she actually wrote a book. You can get it on Amazon. It's simply called George Lucas, I believe. That's by Karina Longsworth. You can check that out. I'm in the process of reading it. A little bit backstory on the stuff we may not know about George Lucas, although a lot of it is pretty common knowledge if you've done any history on George. But I bring her up because as I've done a little bit more deep dive on this stuff, turns out that Karina Longsworth, I believe, still is currently Rian Johnson's girlfriend. So there you go, folks. That's an interesting little thing. You have a scholar of George Lucas and all things Hollywood, directly tied to Rian Johnson. So, I'm not saying that she's going to have a say in the movie. She may not be credited in the movie at all, but she may, add a little bit of history to Rian and his filmmaking for this next episode. So, I'm going to kind of keep my eyes peeled on that one and see if, her connection to the Star Wars universe and her history of, her knowledge of George Lucas's history, will that have any influence on Mr. Johnson as he moves through? Maybe, maybe not. So we are being told that by Daisy Ridley of all people that Rian Johnson's going to be a little bit more freer with his teases for episode 8, which is interesting because seems like Disney and Lucasfilm have been pretty tight on the lockdown of the movies so far. We're seeing stuff for episode 8. We haven't even seen stuff for Rogue One yet, and that's coming out sooner. So that's I think that my theory is that Rian Johnson will be showing us more from the movie, but it may not be what it appears to be, folks. So I only bring this up because I think in the coming weeks, months, what have you, we are going to get more and more information about this movie along with Rogue One. I assume we're going to get Rogue One stuff soon. I would not take anything for face value until something official, like a trailer or a teaser, comes out. I think I have a gut feeling, folks. I may be wrong. I may be eating my words later, but I have a gut feeling that Rian Johnson has a few tricks up his sleeve. So there you have it, folks. That's my theory about the teaser. More to come, I'm sure. What else can I bring to you tonight? This is going to probably be a quick episode. I just really wanted to get these thoughts out of my head. We're getting the Blu-ray release of The Force Awakens in April. Very excited about that. It looks like there are going to be some cutscenes, maybe even a feature-length documentary about the making of the movie. So, plenty of stuff, I'm sure, when that comes out. We'll talk about it. I have to figure out, I never jumped into the Blu-ray scene, so I have to either go and buy a Blu-ray or see if there's going to be a digital download of it available. But yeah, that'll be in about a month. Until then, like I said, Steve will be reviewing some things. Hopefully I'll get JP on the show. JP and I have a couple episodes planned for you that go a little bit granular, a little bit more in the past history of Star Wars universe. Yeah, I have a couple episodes up my sleeve too, as far as if I have to do any shows by myself. So lots of things up my sleeve, up Rian Johnson's sleeve. There you have it, folks. Quick in and out episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Think about what you're seeing. May not always be what you think it is. Delusions of Granular. That's us. You can find us. delusionsofgranular.com. You can also reach out to us. Give us a call. 651-337-9364. That's 651-33-SWDOG. Or email us at SWDOG77@gmail.com. If we like what you have to say, we'll possibly use it on the show. That is how Steve, our reviewer, has become a part of the show, by just kind of letting his voice be known by us, and lo and behold, it's gotten him on the show. So, and we appreciate all of his hard work. So, hopefully you have already found us and are downloading us. If not, you can always look for us on Stitcher or iTunes, or whatever podcast catcher that you use. And if you like us, if you like hearing guys ramble on about Star Wars, if you know people that like that as well, recommend us to your friends. That's our best way of getting new listeners. So new listeners means we'll keep going with new content, and we'll keep the show going for as long as you can put up with us. All right, folks, that is all I have for tonight. Until next time, stay granular. Ew.
Sunday morning, yeah. That's why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday